How's it going, everyone? Today we got a story time of probably one of the most spoiled kids ever getting destroyed by his college professor. It is probably one of the greatest stories I've ever told in the channel, so sit back, relax, subscribe if you like stories, and let's get right into it. So we're going to call the subscriber who sent in this story Isaiah. By the way, Isaiah sent this into my Instagram, links in the description. So anyways, this was Isaiah's first year of college, and first year of college is scary, man. Isaiah was kind of like, he had his classes, he just moved into the dorm. He was getting nervous about it, but he was heading off to his first class. He gets there, he sits down. This is an English class, by the way. He's looking around at all of his classmates, kind of just seeing who's going to be like the people who he's going to be spending the rest of the semester with. I don't know, it's a nervous situation, but the English teacher starts off, pretty nice, pretty calm. He said, all right, guys, go around, introduce yourself, say like, I don't know, a fun fact or something, which I always hate that because I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't want to say I have a YouTube channel, but I don't know what else is fun about me. I have a dog? I don't know, dude. But sure enough, they go around, and Isaiah's like, hi, my name is Isaiah. I'm, I don't know, 18 years old. I'm from, let's say, Nevada. I don't know, man. And then he says a fun fact. He said, I don't know, I can juggle or something like that. And they go around, and eventually it gets to this kid. And we're just going to call him the spoiled kid because my brain is still a little goofy right now, so I don't think I can hold that many names in my head. So we're just going to call him the spoiled kid. And once it comes around to the spoiled kid, he's like, hello, my name is Spoiled Kid. Obviously, he doesn't say, my name is Spoiled Kid, but you know what I mean. He says his actual name. He's like, hello, my name is Spoiled Kid. And a fun fact about me is my dad has partial ownership, and then he says some kind of sports team. Obviously, I don't want to say the sports team. It wasn't anything like a crazy sports team. It wasn't like the New York Jets or anything like that. But it was like still a sports team, and I obviously don't want to say anything, so I don't want to give them away or anything. But bro, everyone in the class was kind of looking around, kind of just like, did this kid just say that like his dad has ownership in a sports team? Like he's basically saying, yo, my dad has the big bucks, bro. That's basically what he just said, dude. So anyways, right away, Isaiah kind of knows that this kid's going to be, the spoiled kid is going to be, a little interesting, and that this school year is going to be definitely kind of interesting. So fast forward a couple weeks, and Isaiah's actually doing really well. He's found a good group of friends that happen to be on his hall, and life's pretty good. His classes are pretty decent, and the spoiled kid hasn't done anything crazy in his English class. Yeah, he's a little snotty. Yeah, he's a little stuck up. Yes, he wants everyone to see his Yeezys all the time, but whatever, man, like, fine. He can deal with that. However, things start to get really, really crazy when it is about, I'd say, like 2 weeks into the school year, and the English teacher has a very kind of a light assignment, kind of just wanted to get them warmed up for the year. He's like, all right, guys, so here's our first assignment. I'm going to ask you guys to write a one-page paper on literally anything you want. Like literally write whatever you want. You'll be graded kind of on how well, it's written, as well as kind of just the whole presentation in general. Oh yeah, by the way, you'll be presenting it in front of everyone. So this is a very, very important detail, because if the spoiled kid wrote about what he wrote about and no one else heard about it, well, you guys probably wouldn't have been hearing the story. But you're hearing the story because part of the assignment is that you have to read this thing aloud to everyone. Public speaking is scary, but this English class was kind of focused on, it was a public speaking English class. So of course, right, like at the end of the day, man, you're going to have to do some public speaking in a public speaking English class. I mean, hey, that's just what you signed up for. So anyways, Isaiah's kind of excited because Isaiah is really into guitars. He's really into, I don't know, just like the history of guitars, playing guitars, music. He was just really obsessed with it. And this was kind of an opportunity for him to, I don't know, for him to shine in a sense and kind of show off a bit of his personality to everyone else in the class. So sure enough, right, Isaiah goes back, and within a couple days, he's finished up his paper. He's like, it's a one-page paper. It's really not a big deal. And he's written it about, like, he just has the history of guitars, like the first one that was ever made, and I don't know if it's made like the Middle Ages, or the original guitar, and it's like important throughout history. And, Isaiah practices this paper a few times in front of his friends, yada, yada, whatever, they get to class. And I'm just going to skip ahead to the good part. So Isaiah goes, totally fine. He kills it, right? Everyone kind of claps. And I think someone afterwards, like, says, hey, I do want to join our band. Like, I don't know if you're into guitars, and obviously, you know, Isaiah's pretty good at the guitar. I mean, thinks about it all the time or whatever. So yes, he joins the band. But this is not a story about, you know, the college group of kids starting a band. This is a story about a spoiled kid getting destroyed by his teacher, and I shall provide. Because sure enough, the spoiled kid, remember, this is the same kid who on the first day, his fun fact was his dad owned a large part in a sports team. Like, bro, is that really your fun fact, dude? But anyways, you know, the spoiled kid goes up and he starts to read out his presentation. He's like, ahem, everyone, pay attention. And he gets up there and everyone's looking up and the teacher's looking up with, you know, this look of like, what could be ahead of us? Only clear skies. False. Because oh my god, dude, I can only imagine this happened in my college. But basically, right, the spoiled kid went up there and was like, so today I'm writing about something of great interest to me, and that is my daddy's wealth. And everyone's like, bro, what did you do? Like, what did you just say, dude? Like, there's no chance that this kid was just like, today I'm going to be talking about my father's money. But he legitimately was like, oh, I'm going to be talking about something I'm interested in. Dude probably sat down and was like, oh, what am I interested in? Status, wealth, what else? Oh, prestige. Prestige is definitely something I'm interested in. And he goes on to talk about like a little history about how his daddy made all of his money. And just, my brain really is falling apart, dude. Oh my god. And then he goes on to give like exact dollar amounts, and it was something like his dad's net. He was like given like a net worth calculation. He's like, so if you add up all of the rare art assets, the rare fish assets, I'm just kidding, the house, the stocks, the equities, if you have the land that we unfairly got from like Venezuela or something, if you add up all of those, our net worth is probably around $45 million. And he was like, so this, and he finishes up by saying, I hope you guys enjoyed my writing. And the other thing that I need to point out is this writing was terrible. Like, it wasn't even like, it was like third grade level in like grammar and writing. Like, it was really, really bad. And the thing is, right, the teacher isn't about to fail a kid because he doesn't like him. But at the end of the day, if you're, it's still a writing class, bro. If your writing sucks in a writing class, I hate to say it, man, but you're going to get a low mark. And so this is where things get really, really interesting. I can't speak. Real quick, the secret word of the day is spoiled. So if you made it this far into the video, comment spoiled. I don't know if I'll be hard in comments today or not, but I will try to at least. So comment down below spoiled if you made it this far into the video. And also, I just want to say thank you guys for giving me the time to take a break over the last couple days. It isn't exactly what you think, but it was a pretty scary couple days. I think I'm doing much better now and I'm getting back into it. But I just want to say that the only reason why the channel is doing so well is because you guys went back and binge watched a bunch of old videos. So if you guys are watching old videos, please tell me in the comment section down below, I binge watched videos, or I'm on number 3, right? Or number 20 or whatever. And I'll try and heart your comment and say thank you. Because the reason why the channel is doing so crazy right now is because you guys are binge watching a bunch of videos. I'm just going to get back to the story. I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. Anyways, right, by the end of the presentation, the entire class is like completely shocked. Isaiah's shocked. The teacher has a shocked look on his face. The rest of the class is just like, oh my god, like, did that kid literally just sit down and just like read out a presentation about how rich his dad was and literally break down his net worth to like individual stocks and real estate holdings? Like, that's the most goofiest thing I've ever heard. So the spoiled kid sits down and kind of looks like, he kind of has this face of like, oh yeah, I just killed it, guys. Like, I'm gonna get an A+, triple plus on this one. Like, obviously it's not, but getting to that in a second. So anyways, let's just skip ahead like one day later, because it only takes about a day for the teacher to give back the grades, because the grades are literally just 50% how was your speaking component and 50% how well was it actually written, like grammar-wise. And the teacher, before handing back the grade, said, hi guys, like, thank you so much for your work. Like, I could see how hard you guys, like, how much work you put into it yesterday. I really, really do appreciate it. By the way, I will not grade on the subject matter. I'm literally just grading on your grammar / writing ability, and then also your speaking ability. This is a very small assignment, so if you don't receive the grade you want, this is just to show you where you kind of stand in the class now. And trust me, I'm looking like you guys are all going to improve. And I actually expect all you guys to at least leave the class with a B+, A- at a minimum by the end of the semester. So don't be discouraged if the grade's a little lower than you think. So whatever, right? If you get a low grade on this assignment, it's a small assignment, one would think. So the teacher starts walking around the class and starts handing out the grades back. And Isaiah gets a A- on his paper. And he's super excited. He's like, that's great. That's a great way to start the year. And the teacher hands back the paper to the spoiled kid. And the spoiled kid picks up the piece of paper, and you could just see a look of rage on his face. A look of absolute, like, turmoil and just anger, whatever. And while it wasn't really, like, announced what the grade was in the beginning, because, like, who really knows, Isaiah figured out kind of later on the line, the spoiled kid got a C+. Which, like, sure, a C+ might not be, like, the greatest thing ever, and for a lot of people. However, it's not a bad grade, and also it's a very small assignment in the beginning of the year, and the teacher said, it's going to get better. Your grade's going to get better. Don't even sweat it. But the spoiled kid, when he receives his paper, he starts getting really, really, really mad. And he stands up in front of everyone. And the whole class, who was just kind of like preparing to getting ready to go into the next part of the assignment, they're putting their grades away back into their book bags or whatever. They all turn to look at the spoiled kid, because out of the blue, the spoiled kid just shoots up and he's like, teacher. And the teacher's like, yes, spoiled kid. Obviously doesn't say spoiled kid, but you know what I mean. You guys know by this point what I mean when I say that. And the spoiled kid's like, you're discriminating against me because of my status. And everyone, just once again, they thought that this kid couldn't go even more crazy, right? But bro, they're just like, no way this kid just said that he got a bad grade because he's being discriminated against because he's too rich or something. And the teacher's like, that's nonsense. Like, I graded you on your performance, which was pretty good, but on the writing side, it just wasn't that good. Like, trust me, you're going to improve a ton throughout the year. Don't even worry about it. Which, shout out to the teacher for not, like, getting super angry, because, like, I would be pretty upset. Like, if I was a teacher, I don't think I'd have the same cool as this teacher. Because, like, the kid literally said, you're discriminating against me because I'm rich, but whatever, right? And the student's like, no, like, you won't hear, like, this isn't the end of this. I will not let such discrimination against me because of my wealth status. Like, I will not let this stand. And the spoiled kid grabs his backpack, kind of like shoots up his head, shoots up the back of his spine. It says, good day, sir, and storms out of the class. And everyone sitting in the class right now just slack-jawed, their mouths are gaping open. They're just like, what? And the teacher didn't really know where to go from there. So the teacher kind of jokingly said, well, that was not what I had in the lesson book. And everyone kind of burst into laughter because it was pretty awkward. So he broke the awkward silence pretty well. And then the teacher's like, all right, you know what? We're just going to keep moving on. We're just going to keep going. Let's talk about public speaking. Let's talk about some tips and practices to make it easier for you guys who are struggling with it. And they kind of go on with the day. And Isaiah, during the entire class, is just thinking to himself, oh my God. Isaiah, though, kind of thinks that the craziness in that class is going to be done, that they're going to be, like, totally set at that point. However, right, before the class is over, about 5 minutes before the class ends, the door slams open, like it just shoots open, and the spoiled kid walks in all proud, and the teacher's like, oh, have you cooled off? And the spoiled kid, who's just walked in, just like completely slammed himself back into the room, has this smug look on his face. And the teacher's like, hello, ? And the spoiled kid's like, I just reported you to the office for discrimination because I'm rich. He said, see you in court, which, like, he reported him to, like, the administration. I don't think that's going to get you in court, bro. I hate to break it to you, but I'm pretty sure if you report someone for, I don't know, like, hating you because you have a lot of money, you're not going to, like, go to court. Oh, this is going before the Supreme Court, guys. Trust me. So anyways, right, Isaiah's just sitting there, and he's just like, oh my God, like this kid was legit. Because everyone kind of just thought this kid was like, knew that obviously he was not being discriminated against because he had a ton of money, and that he was just being ridiculous, and that he was just like running away because he had an anger problem or something. But no, like legit, he went and reported him. So the teacher was like, oh, okay, well, fine. If you want to play it that way, then we'll play it that way. This spoiled kid's like, yeah, get wrecked, bro. Oh, and then he just kind of like runs out of the classroom. And everyone is just like, oh, what just happened there? And the teacher once again says, well, that was also not on the lesson plan. So anyways, the next day comes around, and Isaiah, like, whatever's happening in the class, Isaiah's not even thinking about it because he's just so caught up in the drama that's been going on between the teacher and the spoiled kid. And Isaiah's been, like, telling everyone and his, like, all of his new friends and everyone in his dorm just about everything that's been going on. And every day they come back saying, oh, do you have any updates? Do you have any updates? So obviously, last night when he came back with the updates about how the spoiled kid threatened to sue the guy, they were like, oh my God, this is actually more entertaining than anything on Netflix right now. But anyways, right, the next day in class, Isaiah's, he walks in, he's like, all right, what episode of Spoiled Kid versus Teacher will it be today? And he kind of doesn't expect the spoiled kid to come in, right? But sure enough, the spoiled kid comes in the class, and he walks in with his, like, chest all puffed out, coming in all proud, like, like, I'm the man, I'm that guy, like, you all better fear me, or you're getting, I don't know, sued for discrimination because I'm rich as well, oh, whatever, right? But sure enough, the teacher's like, oh, spoiled kid, you decided to come. I just thought that, we would settle this once and for all and in front of everyone. So basically, right, the teacher has had enough of the spoiled kid's antics and decides to drop the equivalent of a nuke on him. So sure enough, right, the administration walks into class a couple minutes after the teacher sends an email or a text or some kind of message, right? So the teacher wasn't sure if the spoiled kid was going to come into class, but he had more or less arranged with the administration for them to come in and handle this if the spoiled kid was to come into class, kind of to like show off as a spectacle and to make sure that people don't file false stuff with the administration because they hate having their time wasted. So anyways, right, the administration comes into class and the spoiled kid's like, yes, they're gonna take you away. Ha ha ha. I know that they're in here right now to drag you out of here. He looks at the rest of the class. He's like, you're welcome, guys. I read it. You have this demon who hates you if you have money. And everyone is just like, oh my God, this kid's delusional, bro. And so sure enough, right, the administration is like, today we'll be talking about the case of spoiled kid versus, teacher, said the actual names or whatever. And they're like, after doing a thorough investigation, we found that there are no signs of any form of discrimination. The teacher obviously was, grading off of the poor grammar and failure to construct proper sentences of the spoiled kid. And Isaiah looks over and sees the spoiled kid's face like completely fall apart. He's like, what? No, yeah, right, but whatever. And, the administration goes on to say, like, the spoiled kid will receive, like, X kind of punishment. I don't know exactly what punishment. It was pretty light, but he still received some kind of punishment for wasting the administration's time. That is all. And they got up and they left, and the class was completely silent. And the teacher's like, all right, guys, I just thought that was important just to have out there. I thought it was a good idea to just have you guys all see that. But anyways, let's get back to what's important. Let's talk about grammar, sentence structure, and how to have really good writing. And the teacher just goes on with the class like nothing just happened. And everyone's kind of dazed. Everyone's kind of out of it because of the crazy thing that just happened. But the teacher's like, you know what? We're just going on with class as if nothing happened. Yeah, but sure enough, soon after, literally the day of, the spoiled kid ended up dropping that English class. And he still had enough credits to stay in the school or stay in the college and was able to drop it. But yeah, the next day Isaiah walked in, the spoiled kid was gone. And unfortunately, his dorm mates were very sad because he had to come back and say, guys, I'm sorry, the spoiled kid has dropped out. There will be no more crazy stories. And they're like, no, now I have to go back to Netflix.
Click on the video on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it, do it.